Welcome to the HopCast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is still Ken Hunnemeder.
Still? Damn, haven't changed it yet? Not gotten married or anything?
I'm not Aloysius quite yet.
So we got a couple beers from Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee are our friendly neighbor to the north, and these are
not
both
the Canadians.
Beers. Right. the nearer north.
Near.
Yeah, we're in Chicago. We call stuff near north. That's
near
fine.
North, yeah.
These are both from the Milwaukee Brewing Company. So, kind of from what I understand, there's weird laws up there that prevent a brew pub from opening a production facility and then calling that beer from the production facility by the same name. So there's a brew pub up in Milwaukee called the Milwaukee Ale House.
Okay.
And those same partners have created a production facility, and now they can't call that Milwaukee Ale House beer.
So it'd be
they have
like,
to call it Milwaukee Brewing Company.
So us here, Revolution just opened up their packaging facility. They couldn't be called Revolution if they were in Milwaukee. Is it Wisconsin law or just Milwaukee?
It's a Wisconsin law,
It's
yeah.
a Wisconsin law.
Because we're doing this all over the place. I mean, you've got Revolution doing it right now. Goose Island does it.
Dogfish Head.
Dogfish out on the East Coast. But yeah, it's strictly a Wisconsin thing.
That seems like a weird law. I guess it's probably to get more money for paying for the LLC. I don't know, all the business stuff that goes into it.
Oh, I'm sure there's business crap.
It's a
that goes
business.
on.
There's a lot of suit guys.
But regardless, we've both been to the Milwaukee Ale House and had some of the beers that they package still under those same beer names. Like They have a beer called Louis Demise and a beer called Pole Chain. And those are both beers that originally started at the Milwaukee Ale House, the brew pub. But today we're going to be doing a Farmhouse Ale and an IPA.
Yeah.
So.
And I was at I was at the liquor store around the corner. I saw these. And they looked interesting, so I was like, I'd pick these up. I hadn't seen them on the shelf here before. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So kind of a retro look, but we're going to probably pop into this Farmhouse Ale first, and then move on to the IPA.
Let's do it.
But yeah. Check it out.
Man, we got a big head on that.
Yeah, big time. Big fluffy bubbles.
Booyah head.
This is the Booyah Farmhouse Ale from Milwaukee Brewing Company, and a little bit darker than I had anticipated for a farmhouse style of beer, or as people call saison, the same thing, but.
Okay.
But certainly effervescent. It's got a nice character on the aroma. There's actually a little bit of funk in there.
Yeah, a little of that barnyard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you've got your typical Belgian type of like estery aroma coming off of it, but there is a little bit of that like dirty, rustic type of character that comes off in the nose. So
Let's give it a taste.
Cheers.
Yeah, definitely a little funky, tart. I think like almost a little candy apricot-y, candy fruit there.
Yeah, usually how I like my saisons are like extremely dry. This one has a little bit more of a substantial mouthfeel and body than the typical saison or farmhouse that I would like. I think the flavors are good.
Yeah, it's not as I guess almost crisp as I would think a lot of farmhouse usually are. Or
yeah, there's a lingering sweetness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lot of carbonation, which kind of scrubs a lot of that away. But at the same time, there's a little bit of a caramel, and I think you can see that in the color alone.
Yeah.
You're going to have a little bit of that like caramely toffee type character just towards the end of the finish.
No, we don't know what what the alcohol is in this, but probably around 6 or so, right?
I would assume something like that. Nothing outrageous, nothing tame.
It's nice. I feel like it's a good a beer that you give to your mom. Which I think my mom would like this beer.
My mom probably would like it too.
Yeah.
My mom likes Belgian beers, but
my mom's more of a wine fan, so I think she'd kind of like the tartness to it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no nothing off about it or anything like that. So I think it's a clean beer.
Just the look of the Milwaukee Brewing packaging, it's kind of fun, but it's also a little like you said, retro. And
yeah, this stuff looks very retro.
It's beer. Like there's beer inside here.
And it's straight up Milwaukee. I mean, they've got like the city abbreviation right here,
yeah.
MKE.
It's got a cool look, but it's also maybe a good intro beer for I feel like their lineup. Maybe they cover a lot of stuff, but it's good. Like you see these beers and you can kind of go to them and know you're kind of have good beer.
Good, solid, reliable beer. And maybe that's how they kind of represent their city. That everyone knows the Milwaukee Ale House, and it must be nice having packaged beer available for them. So.
Right, I mean, we don't even have, New Chicago's going, but we don't have Chicago beer. I think, or there is the Chicago Brewing Company now, right?
Chicago Brewing Company is around, but they haven't been established really. They're like a new beer company. The Milwaukee Ale House has been around for quite a long time, so to be able to call yourself Milwaukee Ale House, I think it meant something if you were one of the first to jump in the pool.
Right, you've been there for a while. You're a working man's bar. I feel like the beer just has that working man, or like we went to work and now we're drinking after work kind of feel. That's nice.
Yeah, and I think it adopts the culture that you find when you go into the Milwaukee Ale House too. Like that's kind of how it is. You know, you've been there. You belly up to the bar, like, yeah, that's my mug from the Mug Club right up there. Like, give me my big thing of beer. That like, enough of this bullshit. I've already done my work for today. You know, so
I came to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I could see. I think, it comes in 6-packs. Knock back a few of these, hanging on the porch.
Absolutely.
Good day for that.
But we'll finish them up and head on over to their IPA.
Booyah, we finished those.
Booyah, finished my beer.
Booyah, done. Come on, man.
Ready to move on to an IPA. A lot of people judge this style as like
how much hops can fit in one IPA, right?
Yeah, and it's almost like the benchmark for how good a brewery is how good their IPA is. Right. So, yeah, we'll check this guy out.
We're not judging that way.
I don't judge that way. I'm just throwing it out there.
We need an overall opinion.
Absolutely.
One and two beers alone cannot decide a brewery.
Absolutely not. Regardless, we will try their IPA.
Pretty dark color on that and really clear.
Super clear. Yeah, I mean, I think this is the darker spectrum of IPAs.
Right, it's used to like more straw colored.
They might be doing more of a nod to an English style of an IPA. I feel that coming off on the nose as well. It's not like it's a huge, astringent punch in your face. It smells fairly hoppy, but it's not, crazy out there and
no, it has almost
outlandish.
that like cask aroma, like you got the beer off cask. But we've also been sitting outside with it, so it's a little warmed up. But
that also might be a little bit of oxidation as well. Fortunately, not overwhelmingly so, but I think I could get a touch of that in there.
Okay.
Cheers.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, not a lot of bitterness up front. It's more in kind of like the fruity, deep tones of the hop character.
Yeah, a little more like pineapple.
Right.
There.
Tropical fruit, mango, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It goes nicely with the Farmhouse. It does. You can, going from the Farmhouse to this, it's like, oh yeah, there's a bite there.
You can kind of see a progression just because of you know, you're drinking beers from the same brewery, and you can kind of like see that this is coming from the same brewery. There's a connection there between the two.
Right, if it's yeast strain, if it's water, there's a common ingredient there. I enjoy it, but I don't think it's IPA that the beer drinkers are gonna be like, yeah, Milwaukee Brewing's IPA.
This might be just like kind of an old reliable.
Wow.
Not like I'm gonna go out there and seek this IPA. Just be like, yeah, if I see it and I'm just like looking to have a few beers or something, yeah, I'll totally grab that IPA.
Wow. They're not putting alcohol in it, but I would think it's only 6.
Somewhere around 6.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. I think it's solid beer. I do think it's kind of like towards the more English style than American style. I mean, you're not really getting like a bunch of like super citrusy, piney type of things.
Yeah, they're not using like the Amarillo or the Centennial.
Kind of a more traditional hop character.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you know much about the brewers there? Like, are they more traditional brewers?
I mean, the beers that I've had have been very, very traditional. They do a lot of like bitters and brown ales and that kind of stuff. Porters.
Is the Louis a brown?
Louis' Demise, I think, is a brown.
Okay.
Or something along those lines. Right. So I mean, I'm not surprised that this is what is coming out of that brewery at all.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, I think they would be better off calling this an English IPA, and you may change your expectations about it. I guess if you're picking up an IPA these days, you may be like, I need hops. You might be like,
well, there's a lot of people like that for sure. I feel like they're going to get on along, you know, just being like they've adopted Milwaukee, so they're gonna. I don't know how far their distribution reach. I doubt that it's outside of Wisconsin.
Well, we got it here.
You got it
in Chicago.
You got it here in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if this is necessarily going to take over the market in Chicago. I doubt it, but
it's more of a drink local beer. I think they even say like,
right.
That's local flavor.
Local flavor,
so,
yeah. And everything is nodding to Milwaukee, so they're screaming it. But I think your majority of their stuff is going to be locally where they're from. Right?
I think if you're visiting, you're going to be like, I want Milwaukee beer.
Of course.
And if you see it, you'll be like, oh, Milwaukee Brewing, of course. I need that beer.
A couple of solid offerings, you know.
Yeah. I don't think they're seek on vine, but if you see them, like, you know you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get like a reliable, consistent quality coming from these beers. So yeah, don't be afraid to just jump right in.
And I think a lot of the stuff people go for are just like these amazing one-off beers,
right? And
forget that
you got to have it every day.
You need a beer that you can have when you get home and not think or worry about it, right?
Right. So. I think this would certainly fall in this category. So and for that, gotta give them a nod.
Yeah. So Milwaukee Brewing, keep it up.
Cheers.